Okay, I'm near the Charles River. Again, a different spot. I see a bridge called, get a little history here, Cook's Bridge, first built in 1714. One of the first bridges across the Charles River in the Newton Needham area. A man named Crafts designed the redesign. So here's some, 1714. Think about that. That's over 300 years, young people. There was life before the internet. Thank you. Thank you. Today I'm going to talk about a topic of outlasting the narcissist, how ludicrous their position is. This is a key to outlast, because society to me is the real challenge is between humanity and extreme narcissism. That's the class. Beyond Democrat, Republican, as much as people like or don't like Trump, like or don't like, wokeism, the real battle is goodness, right? Forging our purpose in the middle is what I do. And so the real battle is between extreme narcissism and humanity. And I'm going to talk today about outlasting how ludicrous and absurd the narcissist position actually becomes when you develop the resilience and the inner strength to outlast the narcissist. Okay? And look, this is not for the faint of heart. That's why our training, coaching, and mediation is for people who want to lead with courage, right? Because this takes time. This really takes endurance. And what you have to see, I don't know everything I know, but when you commit to a course like this, you define your purpose. You forge your purpose. You become a much different person. Okay, in the process, you become the real you, the true you. So people who are attacked by narcissists and those who identify and ready to take it on, you are the chosen ones. You are the people preparing to become the real leaders in society, because the narcissist scrapes away what's artificial, and you have to become that authentic you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about outlasting. And when you outlast, it becomes clearer, because then you start to see the narcissist, the emotional abuser's position from a logical standpoint or a factual standpoint. And it becomes extreme and outrageous. That aligns with the tort that I've been developing, the legal responses, the tort for the intentional infliction of emotional distress, which I consider to be a key principle in society, something that's going to, like a train track, that's going to put society on the right track. Okay? The tort for the intentional infliction, we'll get to that, if not today, another time. What I'm getting at is that it's a 2 or 3-fold process. Yes, we have to acknowledge, for those who have suffered, endured emotional abuse, attacks from a borderline narcissist, even a psychopathic behavior, yes, you're going to go through periods, and many people go through years of just identifying it and calling it out, and saying they're the narcissist, they're the narcissist, all this kind of go no contact and all this. And that's well and good. That's a stage. But that in itself is not going to get you further ahead. That's not going to let you rise above the narcissist. So the key quality, because you're going to have to outlast them to really expose what the narcissist is doing without directly exposing and pointing at it, because then you start to look, unhinged, or not that you are, but it's like, that's all you want to talk about, and you have good reason that's all you want to talk about. And I'm saying you have to go beyond. The real winners are going to go beyond and forge their see within, again, with our training, coaching, mediation, to find your gentle genius coaching, to find your purpose, okay? You're going to find what you're really all about. And so, depending on the situation, if it's a romantic situation, or it's an employment situation, or if it's a familial situation, these can take years and years, and even decades in the process, like that process from caterpillar to butterfly. And you have to be, they aren't wasted years, okay? Even if you're not where you want to, if you're not reaching your goal, and you're in pride, and your goal takes 15 years. I mean, I've worked on my purpose for 30 years, which is why I can speak in this way about outlasting the narcissist. That they aren't wasted years, because what's happening is you're becoming a much different person. And when I say different, what are the kind of things that I encourage, or if not urge, are calmness, determination, not stubbornness, wisdom, respect, the kind of things of character and integrity, again, through our work, that you've got to develop, okay? Because to really outlast the narcissist and become, it's not just outlasting the narcissist, it's more about your own definition, becoming who you are meant to be. So what happens is you got to go through this process, and over time, and not reacting, clearly not reacting to the narcissist, if need be, appropriately to respond and point it out. And what happens, the process I'm pointing to in the course of this, is that through your growth, you start to implicitly as well as explicitly expose who the narcissist is. Because as you get stronger, as your mission expands, yes, you want to defeat this energy if it's something relevant to you, family, kids, money, whatever it be. If you have to take it on, you will. But one of the main elements is going to be through your personal growth. And as you don't overreact, you see, this is the magic, and this is really where working with us can be helpful. When you don't overreact, and instead do what you have to do, and develop your own life, and preferably an outer element too, of your artistic or creative or business sense, whatever it be, that you work to create this whole part of who you really are. So it's threefold. You're taking on the narcissist as much as you need to. You're you're developing your character and integrity, and you're also developing your dream, in essence, because the narcissist unlocks the avenue for your dream. So you're developing your creativity. And what happens over time, without, because you're working in those three areas and not focusing just on one, the narcissist position will gradually become absurd, okay? It will become clearer, by not pointing out every fault or but like, well, what are they really saying? And this exposes what I believe the world needs to know. I don't know everything, but I know the world needs to know that the narcissist mindset is of a nursery school level or lower, okay? And yet we give them, a lot of them have attained real world power and real world money and real world education. So people put them up here, and yet their emotional framework is nursery school or less. And if it's a situation that matters to you, you're going to find that way to outlast. And one of those things that will become clear, that you don't have to always take them on directly, that the narcissist is actually has a logical statement of absurdity. And that's your victory. Take a look at our website. Thank you. Enjoy the day.